ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2002 Air Display here at Biggin Hill. This is our 40th year for Air Displays International, and the 80th year that Air Displays have been taking place here at Biggin Hill, making this the oldest and most historic air display in the world. My name is Ron David. I'm the notorious Yank over here in the commentator's box, who will be working along with Peter McNamara throughout the day, bringing you the programs that you will see. And we've got a wonderful potpourri of aircraft for you, some beautiful aircraft of vintage characteristics, as well as some of the most modern. Speaking of old aircraft, here's one right in front of you now, the airplane that begins our show today, the Perry Swordfish. If you would challenge the view, all of the aircraft operated by the Royal Navy since 1912, when the Naval Wing of the Royal Flying Corps was formed, believe that the Swordfish is historically the most important. The aircraft. So if you haven't grabbed a picture of this airplane yet, now is the time to do so. He's waving goodbye. Wave back to these pilots as they fly by. Give them a big wave as they fly along the line here at Biggin.
Excuse me.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a first here at Biggin Hill, and a first in Europe, perhaps. If you look down to your right, you will see an ultralight in the sky. And I want you to look very, very carefully toward that ultralight, because taking your migratory routes by allowing them to fly with an ultralight, which flies along at just about the speed of the geese or swans or cranes, in this case cranes.
Slow down. Yeah. 45 base Charlie is on the divert to prepare. Roger, hurry up 45.
Warming into it. Notice he's got a cage around that propeller.
And now here he comes from right to left, cranes in flight, in formation. Are they all there? In the United States and Canada, approximately 15 years ago, we began teaching some of these migratory birds to fly. One of the first, of course, was the gray swan, nearly extinct. And down in Airlie, near Warrenton, Virginia, we actually played the sound of an ultralight to the egg. And there are several of the cranes. I've seen one, two, we've got three flying in formation with the pilot, waiting to go to fly. Actually, you'll notice that two of the cranes are leading the ultralight. So they learned how to actually take charge. Now, don't push that crane out of the way. It's teaching them the migratory routes as well.
Oh, that's
what we did in the case in the United States was we taught the few remaining gray swans
the other one's coming in.
How to respect the ultralight as a parent of sorts. And then we taught them to actually fly with the ultralight, first taking them across the Chesapeake Bay, allowing them to come back, and then finally working our way, bit by bit, up toward Canada, and finally teaching them how to fly along. They were then left to their own devices, and the first 25 that were taught to migrate on their own, 23 actually made it back to the very, very pleased with that. Here's Scan left. He has the option of flying nearer and lower than almost any aircraft that you see here. The cranes are doing a brilliant job of actually, I think, leading him.
He's the stealth one.
Let's see, now he's going to have to pull a little bit away from the crowd. We don't want to overfly the people here. Now they're leading him.
It's the formation team getting ready.
Passengers never complain, or at least if they do, we don't hear them complain, because they are always flying outside the airplane.
Coming in at 130 miles an hour, watch at the end of the flight as the undercarriage will be raised and the aircraft will power away. Undercarriage up, flaps up. She's coming in now for the final pass, accelerating to 230 miles an hour, and watch at the end of the run. This is really good if you've got a video camera, because you will not believe the way that this aircraft pulls up and cranks over. Almost
going.
Indeed, good morning, or good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, Ron. So thanks for inviting the the red lottos to Biggin Hill this year. We're going to be forming into our display pattern at the moment. Two of the airships will actually be holding off at around about an altitude of 500 feet, while the two central, as you're looking at them now, the two central airships will then perform their manoeuvres accordingly. There may be some variation. We are actually due to display here another 2 times this afternoon, mid-afternoon, and I think we've got last slot tonight. So, but there may be some variation to the display. The Lotto light ships are very windy, direction and strength dependent. So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to exactly quantify what they're going to be doing, as it is going to be down to the chief of the pilots to confirm on their finals. But the display is going to consist of several manoeuvres, which should clearly illustrate the extreme manoeuvrability and static capabilities of these airships. Despite weighing in at around about 1.5 tons dry weight, when filled with helium gas, they become lighter than air, and thus it is impossible to actually stall one of these airships.
There's the aerobatic pull-up back on the stick as they ascend into the sky. Higher and higher they go, while 2 aircraft come diving in straight toward the crowd.
I'm pleased to hear you say that they can't stall, because they just right on cue that they went up at a really acute angle.
That's actually a beautiful formation.
It is, isn't it?
That is a beautiful formation.
Coming
All
over
right,
the
guys,
top.
now don't get too close. Break, break. Watch that rooftop. Beware of those trees. Wear foxholes. And there's the break. Peeling out, one to the right, one to the left.
They're going to dive these two, I reckon.
Back on the field once again, climbing up at a radical angle, rapidly ascending, 1 foot at a time. I love it. This is wonderful. Great showmanship.
Indeed, and at the helm we have the 4 pilots, Stuart Milner and Mike Dawson, are maintaining altitude of 500 feet, and Jim Dexter and Mike Loranzik are making the boat actors and the display manoeuvres as we speak. I'd just like to make comments to the fact that this is a national UK tour on behalf of the Camelot National Lottery, who are going through a rebranding campaign. No doubt 99% of the public here today will be aware. And look at that! They must be right in front of the president. That must be a closing speed in excess of 40 miles an hour there, isn't it? Equivalent thrust, and we certainly can't.
They don't like what they're doing.
Is it right?
Yes. I think this is now, Peter. Here it comes. Are you ready? I think that this is truly brilliant. Absolutely.
Certainly is. Certainly brilliant.
Video for ads, what are they?
So this is
touring all over the country under this new branding, is that right?
Absolutely. We've actually completed the majority of our tour now. We started in London, and two of the airships then headed south and west into Wales, hitting Southampton, Exeter, Cardiff, Gloucester, and then heading up to Manchester, while the other two eventually made it up to Scotland and Stirling, hitting Perth, Dundee, Glasgow and Edinburgh, and we only arrived back on Friday from there, so it's been quite an extraordinary few days, and as a lot of people will be aware, the weather has certainly not been conducive to life and air aircraft, so it's been a long old haul back down here.
It's a beautiful day today, though. Richard, the great Richard Branson, I believe, is involved in these airships to a degree, is he not?
Indeed, it all started off with the operating company being heavily associated with the Biggin Group in a town called Oregon. And
that's a state.
Indeed. Indeed.
It's a heck of a state.
Yeah, right.
And they basically are transported over here by cargo, or they can actually be packed away and flown over if there's any urgency for contractual reasons. But predominantly, once they are inflated, we fly them everywhere. Any contract throughout the whole of Europe, we will fly them. So there's not a problem there. And as you can see, they've Mike, thanks to Mike Naranzik, Jim Dexter, Stuart Milner, and also Mike Dawson, and Mike Dawson and Mike Naranzik from the States. Mr. The four airships later on and displaying in front of you. So I hope that everybody's enjoyed the display, and we will be back mid-afternoon and final thing tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and of course, everyone should read the line, don't live a little, live a lotto. And we appreciate you bringing out that message to us today, Richard. We'd actually hoped to have a lotto set up here, but unfortunately the wiring was a bit old, and we couldn't plug it in properly. Here they come, a final salute. Who's that passing by? Can you tell which pilot that is?
I believe that will be Mr. Yes, I can tell by the shape of the head. That's Mr. Dexter, Captain Dexter, and following on behind is Captain Mike Naranzik.
Actually, I noticed there, Richard, that the aircraft, the airship that was flying on the left-hand side on that previous run, actually had one engine stop for a brief moment. Something that we haven't actually seen since the Fokker French F-27 with its spectacular one-engine display. So here, once again, we had a very steep turn.
Obviously, they want to clear out your airspace as soon as possible.
All right, now I'm going to give you a quick little geography test.
Come on, then.
A friend of mine was flying a Navy blimp up the east coast of the United States over the Atlantic on an anti-submarine patrol. A great cold front came sweeping across the United States from the west. He wanted to try to get into the landing field over there in New Jersey, but he couldn't make it. He sat there stationary with the power full on for a day and a night, because these things would go off for 7-8 days at a time, trying to get back to Lincoln, you know? Couldn't do it. So he finally turned and went to his alternate. And he was there in about 2.5 hours. What would that alternate have been?
Reykjavik?
No, but that's close, actually. He went to Bermuda.
Wow. A better choice than Reykjavik,
You're definitely a better choice than Reykjavik. I think they were less happy to go to Bermuda anyway. They actually sat in one place, they watched the sun go down, watched people come back into their homes, watched the lights go out, watched the lights come on, watched everyone commute off to work, and finally said, we've had enough of this, let's go to Bermuda. And they did. Let's take a trip to Bermuda.
The actual visual signature on the side, don't live a little.
Wingwalking when she was 15 and played piloted by her father. So went on to be the first person to test these unique swiveling wingwalking rigs, which in fact is what they're using today. She's wingwalked every year for the past 20 years.
Well, now the aircraft are grouped up and coming in from right to left. Airshow smoke is on. And they're flying along very nice and low, doing about, I'd say probably 80, 85 knots max. A little bit less from upside down, legs extended. They're actually inverted on the rigs as they fly by. Did a good old-fashioned display before the show.
Your wife has been wing walking for her entire life.
Well, almost. She would like to think so, but she certainly she started wing walking in 1977.
There they are now, horizontally in the swiveling rigs. Extraordinary.
A little bit of turbulence, jogging those aircraft down. Flying, of course, there's a lot of additional drag on those aircraft. But the Curtiss Jenny flew with an OX-5 powered engine that probably generated 125 horsepower.
Well, these, I think, are about 450.
Yes, they are. All right, coming up on stage center, flying across the runway, and now the pull. It goes to the left. Now the aircraft break left and right. Sophie on board, and they're waving to the crowd. Give them a wave back as the aircraft come in on an opposing path. Heading diving for a little bit of speed, and up they go. The lead aircraft. She's still in position. She's still in position. All three girls waving. Wave back to them as they come by, ladies and gentlemen. Helen in the front. There's Marie and Sophie. The 80th year of air displays here at Biggin Hill, the 40th for Air Displays International, the longest running air show in the world, and to salute Helen Tempest, dressed as the flag of Great Britain moves around behind the brace. And ladies and gentlemen, don't miss this. It's the first in the UK as they come back across the field. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. We can see her very clearly. Stand and salute.
Well, you can come, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see the 4 yaks of the Yakabins. Flying in perfect box formation, looping the loop. Pulling up now for a quarter clover, rolling the formation at the top of that maneuver.
Showing the race for that,
you know, and making sure that we know who's going to watch whom. And in the meantime, folks, let me direct your attention out here to the left end of the runway, because we've got a very special Electric World Land Speed Challenger that's going to fly down the runway, but hopefully not into the sky. Suave, handsome, and sophisticated are words that certainly don't apply to either Colin Fallows or Mark Newby, respectively the current and former holders of the outright British land speed record. They are here this weekend with their 2 afterburning jet dragsters, Colin driving Vampire, and Mark in split second.
In fact, a quick update there, Rob, that unfortunately we only got Vampire because there was a road traffic accident involving en route to Biggin Hill yesterday.
Well, we get one look then, and there it goes!
Miles an hour before reading the parachute.
Whoa! A very special demonstration all the same. Well, they'll be back tomorrow as well. There's more jet fuel.
That's right.
And that's a Vampire engine?
Indeed, that's
100 and 500 feet respectively. Today at the helm, on this occasion, on this second run, we have Kate Board, the one and only woman female airship pilot in the world. Alongside her in the Lotto 2 we have Mike Dawson, who's from Australia, and Jim Dexter, will be heading the display. He's from the United States of America, and Mike Narantic, also from Australia. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
On this first pass, give Kay a wave as she goes by. She'd like to see you, and she's looking out at you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Biggin. Now, was she in the flight earlier, or was someone else flying that aircraft?
No, actually on the previous display demonstration, Kate was actually one of the observers, and on this occasion she has actually taken to the skies. And earlier on today we had a commitment downtown. We were actually doing some recorded film footage for the Johnny Bourne show, and we were able to actually use this display early this morning. So sometimes it doesn't always meet according to the schedule, but on this occasion we were happy to be able to demonstrate all four on the first and second showing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to ask you to please don't feed these blimps. Please don't feed the blimps. Has finally selected from the motion picture Pix Country the motion picture theme. It takes a big country to accommodate for big airships. Ain't that right, Mark?
It sure is. And the other two airships now are coming nose to nose down the runway, doing a low pass, and then on their pass together, they will do a hard climb at about 45 degrees. It is particularly difficult with these crosswind conditions to demonstrate the airships along the axis of the runway. Obviously the winds are the airships actually act very much like a sail, and I think when you could see the far right airship was actually being blown on its port side towards the tower. So there's a lot of footwork that has to take place. It isn't fly by wire by any means.
Helicopters staying
Being able to accompany and protect the flights of bombers all the way to Germany and back again. And so we see that reenacted here now as the P-51s move in on the wingtips of the great Sally B as he comes back across the field. 103-foot wingspan, crew of 10, the old days, tail gunner, top gunner, bottom turret gunner, nose gunner, navigator. Let's watch and listen. And now the left tank is breaking away.
Probably the last year Sally B flies, unless some serious corporate sponsorship is involved in helping her keep going. So with Mustangs running in from the right, any of those of you in the corporate hospitality village who wish to have a unique way of portraying your company, please do go and talk to the Sally B people at the stand. B-17s in those daylight bombing raids over Germany.
Yes.
But let's listen to these aircraft diving in and see if we can hear the whistling of the wind over the gun positions.
Okay.
where did it all go wrong for him? He had a very illustrious career in the Air Force, flying Buccaneers, in fact, and in Germany. So I guess he'll be looking at the French Super Étendard, another carrier-borne aircraft, which is up later on. There'd be no mistake about the unique ensemble of aircraft that the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight represents. On the business end of an attack by a Hurricane. There the Hurricane Mark IIC, flown by Shiny Simmons, designated the last of the many, the last of 14,533 Hurricanes to be built. A banner to that effect was hung over the assembly line, depicting the last of the many, and that inscription was transferred to her port and starboard sides when she rolled off the production lines in Langley in 1944. Described them at briefing, which was the foreign pilots. Visitors from overseas, I think, is far better. And that is from the French Navy, the Super Étendard, is at the British Airways. This attack, interception, and also ground troop support. It can operate in more than 20 configurations, in multiple bombing modes with 6 500-pound bombs. It was introduced in 1978 to replace the Étendard. HMS Sheffield and Sunker. You can actually see the drop tanks underneath the Super Étendard here. It's a lot bigger than one of those drop tanks, and when the aircraft is...
In spite of the fact that it's been around for quite some time.
And he was in Kosovo before. He was telling me he's actually flown more than 70 combat missions. Currently a member of 11 Squadron, one of the 2 squadrons in the sound when it's making this slow speed approach.
Yeah, you have to sort of ease it up and ease it back. You know, it doesn't happen in the picture. They call it spooling. The pilots are still active competition. They're on their way. Ground crew right clear, now moving back across the field. And I see Ula walking back over to join us here, and he'll be with us in a moment or two. But in the meantime, since these aircraft need altitude from which to function, they're going to have to go along.
You have 2 hostiles inbound from...
And I'm going to let Ula tell you about the pilots. You know, I was telling a story, I think the other day, perhaps to you, that the first time I ever did a commentary for Vulcan was in Rhode Island, in the United States, at the...
Difficult situation on this airshow for this team. Normally we requested an altitude of 5,000 feet to release. And
minus 10 Gs.
yes, with the glider and the maximum speed. Oh yeah, I heard the command now, ladies and gentlemen. Look above. I think in 2,500 feet, not more. Normally we start in 5,000. And they started to smoke, I hope. Yes, I see there's a smoke now. And they are releasing, ladies and gentlemen, please, absolutely silence. And now we start a special music. We named this part in an air show. This is the silent side of the show. Enjoy the synchron gliders with Mike and Henry and music, please, now.
Coming out of the crowd.
They are now in final on runway 21, and normally we have the double high and a very spectacular full program, but today I think the boys do the best on these conditions.
Still in the air.
Still in the air. The high, unsurpassed sanctity of space. Put out my hand and touch.
3 miles more. Roger.
Out of service was particular aircraft in 1967. George Davis Moffett, which is first airline captain, and he lovingly restored to its present condition. And landing in the ocean, which is always a tricky thing to do, taxiing up to the survivor in the water and picking them up at the back door. Only paying customers get to come in through the front door, right? And here comes the Albatross, ladies and gentlemen, from right to left in a special salute to Biggin. Rocking the wings, Bill Da Silva at the controls. Although this aircraft is carrying up to 28 passengers, it's configured to carry 12 to 6 belts, the way it's properly configured right now. If Bill Da Silva's wife was not here at Biggin Hill, I can tell you it can also carry up to 40 pretty girls. But that's another song in the Sukhoi 29. there was a Sukhoi 26 pilot on the other side who was so taken by Bill De Silva's Albatross that he decided he wanted to save his own, and has been doing it for the last 5 years. He's out in the desert.
Seaweed 2000, which was Bill puts this down on the water and slams it straight into reverse thrust. The spray is enormous and the noise is unbelievable. I was speaking to Bill in the bar last night, and he has a...
Did pilots drink? You were...
I think they do.
I didn't know that. There's the gear down. And the gear coming down from that. The land moves on the land and on the sea. Right. Helpless teeth in those days, sir. Truly a remarkable, and nice to have it over here to do this.
It's sadly a very, very rare occurrence to get a decent looking seaplane over here. You don't get many of them, and people often ask if I'm going to do sea wings again. Well, all I would say is watch this space, because things are afoot.
That means yes.
And coming in again, Bill brings it in, pulls right. Wow, 2.5 Gs on that turn. Can the body take it? That's actually quite a nice turn for that over there. I think the right. But what? And on final approach, here comes the Albatross back in, and you'll notice that it's flying at approximately the speed of its high-speed pass and its low-speed pass.
Remain in your seat until the door is fully open.
You know, this is also the 50th anniversary of the beginning of the B-52. And we were anxious to see if we could get a B-52 here, but we started taking notes on it a little bit late. Now, it actually went operational in 1953, so if we can get a B-52 here next year, well, then it would still count as the 50th, but...
Is it true that in the US Air Force, it's the...
Inside. 50 feet. 20 feet. 10 feet.
Built for the French Air Force. There were only 147 aircraft such as this in existence. This is a North American aircraft called the T-28 by the United States Air Force, and it was the mainline trainer for many, many years. Powered by, of course, the same Wright R-1820. Wow, listen to that. The 1820 tender. This aircraft was originally built for the Air Force in 1921. And of course, was originally delivered to Clyde. Of the period of the 50s, the aircraft has been named Little Rascal, where it's a composite color scheme of some of the various squadrons that operated the aircraft in Algeria. Mark Welling is one of about half a dozen pilots. Alongside the pilot aircraft. Demonstrating the airplane overhead.
What?
It
of that 700 horsepower engine, Schwetzhoff Ash 21, 7-cylinder air-cooled radial.
Just the cranes. Slow wind.
Developed from the outstanding Yak 3 and Yak 9 single-seat fighters, some of the most agile fighters of the Second World War, and instead with the sharp intended build, which helps give the aircraft an impressive rate of roll and a cruising speed of just over 200 knots.
Huh?
So after not seeing that.
Now don't forget, as you're leaving tonight, you could swing by the collector's tent next to Sally B and pick up a copy of Bob Lottie's new book that goes to Biggin Hill.
They've certainly earned their
Supporting the
crown
RAF
today.
Benevolent Fund.
We on this occasion only have 2 of the Red Lottos. So Red Lotto 3 and 4 have returned to their London base over at White Waltham near Maidenhead, and leaving 1 and 2 to finalise events here. The penultimate display with the airships is taken by Kate Board and Jim Dexter.
What's the length of these lighter-than aircraft?
They are 130 feet in length. They contain 69,000 cubic feet of inert helium gas. They have a cruise speed of approximately 35 knots. And it is impossible, as I said, to take full tanks of fuel. They do have a usable amount of avgas of 68 gallons usable.
My goodness, it's, when you consider some of the aircraft flying today, 68 gallons wouldn't get some of these jet fighters down to the end of the runway now.
Just looking at the 2 of them, it looked like a pair of graceful whales there almost, don't they? Trevor, do we have any appropriate music for graceful whales?
Let me also ask those of you who see Angie taxiing up to give her a nice wave. As she taxis by, give her a wave there, folks, down at the left end of the runway. And DC-3 is also coming out for the last passenger hop of the day. We didn't promote it because it's all sold out. Wonderful to go.
Will be at around about 50 pounds heavy currently. Standard amount of lift gained out of 61,000. Predominantly throughout the whole day, direct crossing to the runway and the display line, which makes it a little bit more difficult to demonstrate the airship in there.
You can see how they're contending with the wind. The wind coming in out of the southeast, and I'm watching the ship that's approaching the center line now, drifting to its left as it works its way up on the field. They're like a big sail constantly. Now you say you can change both sides on the side anytime you want to.
Certainly done 3-dot slots. What was your highlights then, Don?
And expand accordingly.
Cranes.
dashboard.
That's a
And
good spot.
the pilots at any stage do have to maintain a certain level of pressure on the air.
Tornado went by.
So it's very important.
And that PC7.
Keep an eye on their pressure gauges.
Oh, and the fire car with the rocket flame at the back.